Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
No, it's business. It's the office. I enjoy it because this is what I love to do.
Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter.
I understand, Canelo is bigger than me and whatnot, but I'm up for the challenge.
Craig is an excellent fighter, but as I mentioned earlier, he wears weight glasses for a reason. His job is in the office, which I love because it's what I love to do. In terms of skill, I believe that driving is a better fit for him. I know that Canelo is larger than me in other things, but I'm up for the challenge. Terence Crawford's recent workout video has prompted Canelo Alvarez to respond. Crawford is stepping up his training in anticipation of a possible fight with Canelo. His workouts consist of a combination of strength and conditioning activities, like his resistance training and weightlifting, to increase his stamina and power. Moreover, through work and heavy bag sessions, Crawford concentrates on honing his punching mechanics, increasing his accuracy and speed. Turkey Al-Sheikh Arab Sheikh, according to Boxing News Online, a fervent boxing fan has pledged to bring multiple top-tier bouts by 2025, with the most anticipated one perhaps taking place in September between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. The fighters apparently started negotiating the conditions of their highly awaited fight during a secret meeting in London last week, away from Al-Sheikh's attention. According to ESPN, the match is scheduled for the weekend of Mexico's Independence Day in mid-September. According to ESPN boxing expert Mike Coper, they are currently finalizing a deal for a fight that will take place in Las Vegas over the weekend of Mexican Independence in September. The fight will have a 168-pound weight limit and no rehydration clause, but there is still a significant obstacle. Crawford would need to put on 14 pounds to match the Mexican fighter's weight class. Starting at super welterweight, where he won the WBC world title, Canelo progressively advanced in weight classes over the years. He later became the unified middleweight champion at 160 pounds. He briefly advanced to light heavyweight, defeating Sergey Kovalev to win the IBF title, before dropping to super middleweight, where he became the first undisputed four-belt champion. Canelo's bouts rarely end in a decision, which hasn't happened much since 2016. To take on Canelo, Crawford would have to move up 2 weight classes. Canelo has voiced his apprehensions about taking on Terence Crawford, highlighting the significance of weight classes in boxing.
Obviously, you can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
He claimed that there is a reason why there are weight classes and that Crawford's optimal performance is at 147 pounds. This viewpoint comes after Crawford recently moved to 154 pounds, where he defeated Israel Matter to win the world title. Despite Crawford's achievements, Canelo thinks that challenging him by lifting up to 168 pounds would be a big step that would disadvantage Crawford because of the disparity in stature and strength. Canelo's position emphasizes the age-old boxing tenet that weight divisions are in place to guarantee competitive and equitable bouts while upholding the integrity of the sport and athlete safety. Evident even though Saturday is over, do you feel up for a bout like Terence Crawford? He seems to desire the fight, and he's made it apparent. Do you think that kind of fight adds value to your history, or do you think it's not worth it? You know everything about my career, and every battle helped me create a better and different legacy. Crawford is an excellent fighter.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
But as I mentioned earlier, he attends weight classes for a reason. I'm totally focused on Bunga, but you never know what might happen next. Crawford's falsified record exposes Canelo. Canelo is correct about Crawford. In his 17-year career, he has never faced elite or A-level opponents. His greatest victory was a car crash that left everyone else in ruins, including him. Nobody on Crawford's resume makes a point of expressing how much he values the compliments he has received. He is the result of astute promoters matching fighters in this day and age. He is incredibly gifted, but as you can see from his record, he has only defeated one strong opponent. Aside from that, he hasn't defeated other good fighters, as Spence said. Crawford's record was downgraded by Canelo to TMZ Sports. Canelo is correct. Bud Crawford's resume is devoid of talented fighters. In fact, he has been the favorite in every fight he has been in over his 17-year career, and that's not because there weren't fighters that would have been 50-50. The only notable name on his resume is the worn-out Errol Spence, who hasn't looked the same since his high-speed, 100 miles per hour car crash with his pricey Ferrari in 2019. Are you sick of people asking you about Terence? I always say that I respect Terence Crawford because he is a very talented fighter, but if you look at his record, he only defeated one good fighter like Air. So yeah, but other than that, I don't think he's betting on other great fighters like ESP Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence, making it look almost effortless, but I knew that he was a great fighter. Terence Crawford recently responded to Canelo's remarks about his career by saying, "LOL, that's crazy. Every fighter I've fought isn't good." But one noted, just remember what you said, because I've always had the joy of making somebody look like nobody's critics of Crawford argue that he has been carefully matched against B-level opponents to maintain an unblemished record avoiding top tier. Jiren Ennis Bakram Morrizalve, Virgil Orty Jr., and others think Crawford should increase his weight to 168 pounds and fight against fighters like David Benovitz or David Morrell to prove he is worthy of a fight against Canelo. However,
it's disrespectful for Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
It's crazy when you asking about that because you say, your Machado is coming out with other weight classes and and he's welterweight, so don't make sense. But if the fight makes sense, why not?
A lot of people have him at number one pound for pound. You think that's fair to you?
It's a few people there who deserve be the number one pound for pound, and it's fine.
Crawford is confident in his accomplishments, rejecting the idea that his resume is weak or padded, and he continues to assert his dominance in the sport. Canelo has acknowledged the widespread desire among fighters to face him, saying, "It's fine if a fight makes sense, then why not?" Previously, Canelo was hesitant to fight Terence Crawford, citing a lack of credit for defeating a smaller opponent, but his position has changed over time. Canelo recently met with boxing power broker Turki Alec in London to talk about the possibility of a fight with Crawford, should it come to pass.
Always is a chance there, right? We'll see, but always is a chance there, and we're here to make the best deals, and always a chance.
And I do have to ask you about Dimitri Bivol, because that's a rematch you've always talked about wanting. How do you see the rematch going with Bivol and Beterbiev?
I think it's going to be another good fight. Both fighters are good fighters, so I think both have a chance to win. Like the first one was a really good fight.
So whatever is next, we look forward to it, my friend. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Crawford will make the big leap to super middleweight, which some analysts think could be difficult for him. Teofimo Lopez, a two-weight world champion who has trained with Canelo under coach Eddie Rosso, is one of the few who believes the weight rise might fight too much for Crawford. Despite these reservations, boxing fans and pundits are quite excited about the possible matchup. Crawford calling you out at 68 and saying he can beat you at this weight is disrespectful. Everyone wants to fight with me. So it's okay that the biggest fight in boxing is something you'd actually be interested in. It's crazy when you ask about that because you say, Urimaya's coming in other weight classes and that's in his welterweight. So don't make sense. However, if the fight makes sense...
Saul, my carnal, how are you? Quick question. I know, as we walk, Canelo, how important is it that you've spoke with Turki Al-Sheikh?
Say again, please.
How important for you is it that you've spoke to Turki Al-Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
Look, I like to work with everybody. You know, I'm a free agent, and I like to work with everybody. And you know, I like to have the doors open.
Are we going to see Canelo Crawford next?
We'll see. It's a possibility there always. No, we'll see what happens.
Have you spoke with Turki about that show?
Yeah,
about Canelo?
We know each other. We don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but you know, we now know each other, and we'll see what happens.
Last one, I know you're pushed for time. Benavidez Morel, who wins?
It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. 50-50 fight.
Canelo, thank you for that.
Why don't many people have it number one pound for pound? You may think that's fair. With the words easy money if the money is right, I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he moves a lot and the fight is boring. Canelo has shown confidence in a possible fight with Terence Crawford. This statement reflects Canelo's belief that Crawford's style, which is marked by significant movement, may not fit with his preferred matchups. Despite this, talks regarding a fight between the two champions have advanced,